What's up, everyone? We're back here today with another banger episode of Scaranoia. My name is the Jared Holmes. I'm here with my co-host. I'm just Chris, and as you see, we're missing somebody. We're
Yeah.
missing, we're missing our great Hugs, and unfortunately, the theory on the street is he was taken by a Bigfoot.
He talked about him so much that they might have already found him. I mean, I heard they're big on feet tickling, so he might be, peeing his pants right now.
Actually, dude, bro was walking home from work and just got abducted by a Bigfoot. Sad day, sad day. But as the good saying says, the show must go on. And today we have a couple cool things for you. And we're going to get it actually started off with mine and Chris's top five favorite horror movies of all time. And we're actually going to kick it off with Chris's number five.
All right, so my number five. It's a controversial one because it's a top three in any category, but for me, I haven't watched this movie enough for it to be in top three for me. But I will say it's one of the greatest horror movies of all time, and it would have to be The Shining. I love The Shining. It's the characters, the pace of it, the story. It's all great. Set design phenomenal, and yeah, I got to give it to The Shining.
Uh, you know me. I'm all about hot takes, right? The Shining, overrated. The Shining is overrated. I will give it this. The atmosphere in it is fantastic. Like, can't really get a better atmosphere. You know, that sudden sense of dread throughout the entire movie, fantastic. Everything else,
Mhm.
trash. Stanley Kubrick, two thumbs down.
No,
Boo. Yep,
bro, come
yep.
on.
I said it. Shining's overrated. But my number five is the best Chucky movie of all time. I'm a big late 90s horror fan, so Bride of Chucky is my number five favorite horror movie of all time for so many reasons. It is the perfect blend of scary and funny Chucky. Yes, there is some stuff that is slapstick and over the top, but it fits in so perfectly. The score in Bride of Chucky is one of the best, without a shadow of the doubt. Call Me by Blondie kicks that movie into just the highest of tensions. And then we get the introduction of one of my favorite characters in the franchise, Jennifer Tilly, Tiffany, whatever you want to call her. Bride of Chucky from start to finish is one of the most perfect horror movies out there.
All right. Well, coming in at my number four spot, it's kind of tough because this one bounces around a lot for me, and it all depends on time of year. Because I know Halloween around like October, it goes up super high for me, and that is one I actually introduced you to. It's a cult classic, and that is the first Sleepaway Camp movie. That movie, with it being like early '80s horror movie slasher flick, who done it was very good on the practical effects, very good on the cinematography, setting, everything just gelled well. Acting acting was fair. I would give the acting like a C for the most part, but it really throws you through that like, oh my god twist at the moment. So, I have to give that my number 4.
And one of the greatest twists in horror movie history, man. I put it right up there
Yeah.
with Saw, honestly.
I
Like,
would say so, man. Especially because like I said the timing, bro, you didn't see that a lot.
facts,
How
facts,
often do you have in the 80s a transgender serial killer?
facts.
Like,
And shout
spoiler
out
alert if you
Felicia
haven't seen
Rose.
it.
Shout out Felicia
Oh
Rose.
man,
Fantastic
she
actor.
is a goddess, bro. I love everything about her. She is so great. Her acting is what carried that movie. Like, and it was very minimal. She didn't have to do a lot. She played her character for what it was. So,
Facts, facts. My number four. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, that's not horror. That's not a horror movie."
I think I know where you're going.
If there are big giant dinosaurs chasing you, that is a damn horror movie. My number four position is the original Jurassic Park, the greatest score of all time. Don't
Hands
care.
down.
Talk about your Jaws. Talk about your Halloweens. No, It's Jurassic Park. Absolutely love Ian Malcolm. He does, and it's not going to be the only time. It's not going to be the only time you see Ian Malcolm on my list. Jeff Goldblum is his real name. But I love
Mhm.
Jurassic Park. It is beautifully pleasing. Um, I wish I was able to see it in the theaters because just seeing that in theaters would just been so perfect. Like I said, beautiful in the eyes. I love the tension in it. All the characters do a great job. Love the animatronics. Like they look so much better. If you compare Jurassic Park from 1993 and Jurassic World from 2015, the CGI looks like trash in these new ones because they use animatronics in Jurassic Park, and it just makes everything so elevated. That scene of the kitchen with the um, raptors. Oh my god, bro!
That
The greatest
really
scene.
strikes fear into you.
It
Yeah.
does, man. I love Jurassic Park so much. Super excited for the new Jurassic Park that comes out this year.
All right. All right. Yeah. That was exactly where I expected you to go, but not where I guarantee anybody else thought you were going to go because popular opinion is it's not. It's an action. Like no, you literally see these dinosaurs eat people. Like
Yeah, it's a horror
it,
movie,
it's it,
man.
it's a horror movie, bro. If people, especially if people classify like Alien as a horror movie, you got to put Jurassic Park in there. So, and we've had that conversation, I believe, in the past. So we're going at the number three spot. The number three spot is one of my all-time favorites. It was one I grew up on. It was one that I still to this day can watch anytime I see it on, and that is I don't even know what era it came from. I think it's the '90s, but it is People Under the Stairs. That movie, you better watch your mouth, okay?
I've never
You
even
just said
seen People Under
Jurassic.
the Stairs. What is that?
You've never seen that one?
No, never seen People Under the Stairs.
Oh my god, bro. It's such a good movie. It's about this kid who's trying to save his family from poverty because they live in like a slumlord building, a crack house, and they're about to get evicted. So he goes with his sister's boyfriend to break into like this wealthy family's house who's buying up all the property in the urban areas, tearing them down to gentrify it. And it's this, oh my god, it's so good. You have Brandon Abrams. Can't remember his name. He was in Mighty Ducks. Love the guy. Um, just so much about it. Special effects, practical effects were great. The acting was great. The story throws you through a loop, especially the deeper you get into it. And it was very much a thrill ride to watch. Like you're on the edge of your seat for the most part. Like I think you would like it. I might have to include that somewhere else. Where yeah, we'll get to that another time.
My number three, Dream Warriors. Nightmare on Elm Street, Dream Warriors. It's better than the original. It is the most perfect Nightmare on Elm Street movie. It's another blend of, it's the perfect blend of Freddy being scary and funny. So many great scenes. Welcome to Prom Time, bitch. Uh, the little animatronic scene, the claymation scene. I love this movie so much, man. And then Dawkins Dream Warriors also being played in it. Absolutely sick. Love Nancy Thompson's in this too. This is my favorite Heather Langenkamp performance in all of her cinematic history. This is my favorite Freddy. This is my favorite Robert Englund performance. Dream Warriors just feels so more elevated. I know I use that word a lot, but it's so more elevated than any of the other Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I'm not the biggest fan of the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, but Dream Warriors is where it is at.
It's funny you should mention that because that's actually my number two. Dream Warriors is my all-time favorite of the Nightmare on Elm Street series. Next to New Nightmare, I did love that one a lot, but I don't know if I would consider that a part of the series because it's kind of like a breaking the fourth wall
I love New
aspect a little
Nightmare
bit.
too.
Yeah, but Dream Warriors, everything you said, bro, spot on. Nancy making her comeback and having involved like just helping them channel their powers of their dreams to defeat Freddy, the animatronic scene, the claymation, all that just created like a perfect 10 out of 10 movie for me and hands down the best of the series.
Yeah, Dream Warriors absolutely rips for sure. My number two, See, I'm really bad at rankings, honestly. I said that Jeff Goldblum would be in this again, but I don't think I can put The Fly at number two, honestly,
Yeah.
because I forgot all about this movie till just now. Because you talked about putting me on to Sleepaway Camp, but my number two favorite movie, favorite horror movie of all time, The Lost Boys. I love The Lost Boys
Oh.
so much. Never had watched it before Chris told me. Like, I heard about it, but had never watched it. Talk about a soundtrack. What a kick ass soundtrack. Oh man, I love The Lost Boys so much. It is just,
I'm
it's
so
one,
mad.
it's such a good summer horror movie, man. Like, The
It
Lost Boys is,
is.
like, I know a lot of people will say Jaws is the best summer horror movie. No,
No.
it's The Lost Boys. You got that, like, I know carnivores, not fucking carnivores, carnivals. I know a lot
Yeah.
of people like put that towards fall, but like carnivals and fairs, I really just it feels summer vibey, and the Lost Boys is the
It takes
perfect.
place on the beach and everything. You get that whole
Exactly,
summer aspect. Like
exactly.
you have the ocean, you've got the boardwalk. You just shook up my number one, brother, because I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't even thinking about the Lost Boys, but when I mentioned Dream Warriors being a perfect 10 out of 10 movie, everything about the Lost Boys, from the acting, the cinematography, the scenery sets, all that soundtrack, bro, has one of the best soundtracks in all of movie history to me. It fits it so well. I'm giving that my number one spot. Like you just, yeah, you shook on my list. Originally, it was Freddy versus Jason because that is one of my all-time favorite horror movies. But The Lost Boys deserve to be on this list, and I wouldn't feel right putting them anywhere lower than two. But I stick by Dream Warriors being two, so I'm gonna give The Lost Boys number one.
And I do have two. I said The Fly is a good honorable mention. Also, The Substance and It Follows also are some of my favorite horror movies. If you get my vibe, I just like I just like simple horror movies, not one
Body
that's
horror.
yeah. I don't like horror movies that make you think about it. I'm not a fan of The Babadook, not a fan of Hereditary, definitely not a fan of Nosferatu. That movie fucking sucks. But the greatest movie of all time is this guy right here, 1996's Scream. One of the only movies that I consider perfect. Every single actor in this matters. Every single character in the original Scream plays a part in this movie to perfection. Every single one of them matter. Stu and Billy's Ghostface, spectacular. One of the greatest whodunit mysteries ever. I remember watching this the first time and being absolutely shocked on who the killers were. Without Scream, I would not be here doing this podcast right now, honestly, because Scream made me fall in love with the horror genre. I will never ever have any type of bad word to say about this franchise. I don't give a shit if they fire Melissa Barrera. I am still going to be planted in the seats in the theater to watch Scream 7. And talking about ghost faces and just talking about Scream has really made me want to, to really just talk about all the ghost faces as a whole. Give them a letter grade. You down, Chris?
I'm down, man. Like
We're
we
just kind
literally
of just
just
we're just shooting the shit in this episode, honestly. Uh,
we really are. And to be fair, we did just get done watching all the Scream movies. We ranked them all. And we both had some controversial ones. I mean, we both agreed on our number one. So I think rather than ranking the ghost faces, giving them a letter grade. You have your S tier ghost faces all the way down to your F tiers.
and
You
you
know what
can
I
watch
mean?
our Scream ranking right here on the Scaranoia YouTube channel.
It's
Or if you're
it's
watching on Spotify, come over to the YouTube channel. We do extra content on there.
that we do.
And we're about to have a whole lot more content coming.
That we are, brother.
But let's talking about the ghost faces before we truly get in it. What do you think makes a good ghost face?
I think the most important part is the element of surprise. You have to be able to not like see something coming. You have to be able to like have a
But
million wrong
also,
guesses.
not to interrupt here, but also like there's a couple in here that were surprises, but it's like, why did that happen? Like the way I think. So continue actually.
I'll say also a good backstory, a good reason why, a good, you know, like each every ghost face needs to have that story on what led them to where they are. There's only one that, and we've agreed on this, and we'll talk about this when we get to that one that I mean, I think is just butt cheeks. It was not needed, but again, we'll cross that bridge. So yeah, element of surprise and a good story, a good backstory. Those are the two key things I think.
Yeah, I agree. A good motive. I don't really care about the surprise aspect. If it's predictable, it's whatever. But as long as they have a good motive, is what I'm looking for. Because let's talk about one of the surprises that just was like, why? Charlie Walker from Scream 4 is the worst Ghostface. I'm sorry, it's 100% true. He's trash.
I could have sworn I said the same thing, and you argued that point with me. Scream
No,
four,
I
right?
had to watch it. Yeah, yeah. Scream 4. After watching them all back to back to back like we did,
Okay. See,
Charlie
you're
Walker's the
starting to
worst
see my
Ghostface.
points that I'm making. You are starting. I wouldn't say he's the worst, but I would pair him. So
He gets an
for
F for
he
me.
gets an F. Yes, he gets an F for me as well. I didn't think the motive and the chemistry was there. Like to me, it was like I wasn't excited to see that one. Jill, though, are we going? Are we going to rank each one of them individually? Because I definitely would not put Jill on the same.
I'm
On the
kind of
same.
just jumping around, honestly, but if we want to go ahead and talk about Jill, we can.
Let's do that. Let's do if they're like obviously there's always multiple. We'll talk about them. I mean not minus one, but we'll talk about the movie, the Ghost Faces, and we could jump to any of them. So Scream 4 we're on right now. Um, I would give Jill. I'd give her A tier for sure. I don't know if I could qualify her as S. I'm torn. I'm torn because her motive, her connection to Sydney, and
Let me give you a
everything.
reason here. Let me give you a
Go ahead.
reason
Go
why
ahead. Go ahead.
Jill is the second best Ghostface of all time behind somebody I'll talk about later. The motive. She's
Yes.
jealous of Sydney's success. The whole family only cares about Sydney. They don't care about her. She is Sydney's cousin. That was
Yep.
so unique.
You're
And
right.
then just so much about Jill just makes her my one of the best ghost faces of all time. One of the most smartest ghost faces. She
Yes.
almost got away with it. She
She
was
really
this
did.
close from almost getting away with it. Perfect. I love Jill so much. She's an S tier ghost face.
You know what? You're absolutely right because concept was one of a kind. It was unique. They took a leap on something. They tried something after failing in the third one, and the connection to Sydney, the motive, almost getting away with it. If she wouldn't have slipped up, she very well could have gotten away with it. And the like I said, the element of surprise for her because you would have never guessed that Sydney's cousin is Ghostface. Yes, I'm changing my S tier, hands down.
For sure, for sure. We might not agree on all of them, guys. Stick around. Um, Someone that I'm kind of just so torn about. I, there's elements I love about Roman Bridger, but elements that I hate about Roman Bridger. Number one, the most embarrassing Ghostface reveal. When he took the mask off, he said director, Roman Bridger, and there was no pop factor. No one's like, oh my god, everyone's like, who the hell is this guy?
That
Because he
was
was
three, right?
barely, yes, from
Okay,
Scream
okay.
3. Sorry, Crispy's not a real Scream fan, guys.
Oh my god, I don't remember all of the names all the time. Okay, excuse me.
But like no one knew who he was. Like he was barely in the movie, so it was a surprise, yes. But I do like the motive. He started it all. He started it all. He was the reason Stu and Billy killed Maureen Prescott. He is the original Ghostface, really.
You mind if I jump in here?
Yep.
To me, that was creating plot points that didn't need to be created because it felt like they were running out of ideas.
It's a
Because
franchise. There
yes, but
has
at
to
the
be
same time,
plot points.
but no, there does have to be plot points because it has to make sense. If you're gonna give this, oh, I'm Sydney, I'm actually your brother, and I'm the mastermind behind Billy and Stu killing your mom, and then framing Cotton. Like there has to be some level of continuity there that causes
And
it
we'll
to
go
make
in it
sense.
in Scream 7. We'll get in Scream 7. We're gonna get. I really think that now that because he's coming back in Scream 7, either he's not dead, which would be insane because he got shot in the head, and I kind of hope it's that. I hope they all just come back from the dead. That would be really cool.
That
Number
would be an
two,
interesting one.
number two, which I know this ain't Scream 7 predictions, but I had to jump in here. I hope they're not using AI as just a voice filter because I will literally whip down every single wall in that theater. I promise you that. I'll film it too for YouTube.
I
And,
was gonna
uh,
say I'd pay to see that, like,
but
but
number three, we're gonna see the death of Marine. It's all gonna be a beautiful. We're gonna find out here February 27th, 2026, and it's gonna change your mind
anyways, and
on
the
Roman
and the
Bridger.
well, it might, but at this point in time, it doesn't because this man. And it's also the only one man. Every other Ghostface has pretty much been a two man, or in Six's case, a three man job.
Four,
Four.
but we'll get to
Yes,
that.
we'll get to that. But yeah, no, Roman Bridger, not a pop for me. Stupid. It was, and you even seen it when you rewatched it and you did your review that it just felt forced. That was, yeah.
He
I'm
still
F
gets a
tier.
C tier.
He gets
C.
an F tier for me. F. It was to
Scream
me.
3
F is
fans
for
go after him.
F
Give
is
him
for
some tea
flop,
to
and that's
talk
what he
about.
was.
Give him
That's
some
what he
tea to
was.
talk about, Scream fans. But speaking of multiple ghost faces, Scream 6 kind of overdid the ghost face thing a little bit. Honestly.
I don't know if I've. I don't know. I didn't.
Because
I
they
I
had
what
Jason in the very beginning kill Samara
F tier.
Weaving's character.
F tier. I
D
I
tier. D tier. I thought it was
D.
cool. I thought it was cool that they revealed a ghost face
I'll
right
give. Look.
away.
Okay. Okay. I
Just
will
for that
give.
aspect alone.
Yes, I will give D tier for that aspect in the simple fact that like he had a pretty interesting motive. And I mean it's the same motive as what the other ghost faces were. But I don't know about the others. I don't know if it was overdone because again, the motive was solid.
For
Like
sure.
they killed the sibling, and then they're also the ones that started cooking this stuff up. That Melissa Barrera's character was in fact the one that was killing everybody, and they got people to believe it.
So
And
let's start
plus,
with Quinn. Start with the girl in Scream 6, Quinn. I do like how they faked her death. I didn't see that one
I
coming.
did
Like
100%.
the surprise of that was
Yeah,
phenomenal. When we was watching it together, because I watched it when it first came out in theaters, and we was
didn't you
watching it a
walk
couple.
out?
I did kind of, but
Yeah, you didn't even.
I knew like of what happened, because I read
Okay.
upon it, and I was shocked. I was shocked.
Yeah.
So for the
I,
shock factor alone, but also it wasn't needed. She's a nothing character. I hate Quinn honestly. She's just getting a D.
I'd give I'd give her D tier as well. The only
Hey yo,
thing D
hey
tier,
yo,
motherfucker, D
hey
tier.
yo. Same
For
though.
the simple fact that it was a shock factor, but that's it. Like you said, nothing character. Um, I wasn't a fan of because she was the one that killed Dewey, right? No, no, no. She didn't kill Dewey. She was the one that killed because Dewey died in five.
Yeah, I walked out of Scream 5, not Scream 6.
That's right. Scream five. You walked out of Dewey and fuck. She tried
Amber.
to kill
She
Gail.
tried to kill Gail.
Yes. So yeah, that was like yeah, it was. Eh. And I wasn't a fan. See, for me, one thing I wasn't a fan of, and just in general, like it was a great movie because I loved. We talked about that already, so I'm not going to dive back into that. But one thing that kind of threw it off was like having the phone call while Ghostface is right here. It was always like that tells you the viewer that okay, there is multiple, and yes, we're led to believe there's going to be multiple because we've watched these movies and we know how this goes. But that disparages the whole possibility that there's only one because you've got Ghostface on call while Ghostface is back here trying to kill Gale, and it's like I didn't like it. I
How about
wasn't.
Detective Bailey? How are you feeling about Detective Bailey, who was also a Ghostface in Scream 6.
which he was the one that orchestrated the whole thing, right? Like he was the one; those were his kids, and they had killed his other kid, right? Like that was the whole.
Yes, that
I
was the motive.
motive was there. Love the motive. Did not suspect him because he was so heavily involved. Right up at the end, he throws the blame on Kirby, and we're believing it. We're buying into it. We're like, "Holy
Yeah, I
shit,
really
Kirby!"
believed it, honestly. I really
Exactly.
believed it, honestly.
Exactly. We're like, bro, Kirby's Ghostface. Like, I remember us sitting there watching that, and I'm like, oh shit. I have to. I don't. He's like right between C and B to me. Like, I would give him C tier. Okay, I'm gonna give him C tier because I would give him like high C tier though. You know what I mean? Like, he would be top C tier for me because the motive, the the plausibility of it being him, like, didn't see it coming one bit. He was, and I think the murder of Quinn is what really led me to be like, bro, there's no way. Like, this man's trying to get vengeance for his daughter. So, yeah, he gets a high C from me.
I had to give him B tier, man. Dude has the most kills as Ghostface, a
Oh, you're
hundred
right.
percent.
I didn't
He's
even
the
think about the
most
kill count in this one because the kill count in
he's
this one was
he's the
crazy.
most brutal Ghostface. Love the motive, love the reveal. Detective Brady gets a B from me. How about Ethan, who was also a Ghostface in this?
Ethan played it really well. I'll give him that. He was the nerdy, kind of like just there. He was sussed out, but only because he was new to the group. He wasn't part of the core four. Um, it's hard because he really made you believe it wasn't him. And I mean, I don't know about you, but my whole thought process was like when they were sussing him out and giving him every reason that it could be him, I'm like, yeah, and for all those reasons, it no way ever could be. But I don't know, man, because I feel like he was more influential to the story than Quinn. But I'm still gonna give him a D tier.
He goes in F tier for me. Do not. I
Definitely.
know everyone hypes him up. Like I see all these scream edits of him being one of the greatest ghost faces. There's just a bunch of teenage girls googling over him because he's
Yeah,
hot. He's trash. Added nothing to the story. Wasn't needed. Detective Bailey could have just been fine as a single ghost face. Scream 6, trash. Ethan Landry, trash. How about Scream 2?
I really
Let's
okay.
talk
First
about.
off, to say Scream Six in general is trash when we got the return of Billy Loomis in, like, fucking, in the
That was
form that he
Scream
was.
5. Who's in
We had
both
him in
of
five,
them?
but we also had him in six with all of the other Ghostface costumes, the weapons, like the whole nine.
This ain't
Can't
a
say
ranking of
shit.
the Scream films. So, shut your mouth. We're going to talk about Scream 2 now, and we're going to talk about Mickey Altieri. And my opinion on him, kind of just the middle of the road. Love the motive. Cool surprise. Just, I feel like he's the most forgotten Ghostface. I really,
Yeah,
really, truly believe that. When I see Ghostface ranking, it's like everyone just glosses over the fact that Mickey was a Ghostface, and that's kind of how I feel about him. He's just going right in the middle, right at C.
I would agree. I would agree. Motive was good. Um, I definitely didn't see it coming because he really didn't have a huge part in the movie. It was kind of like Roman. Like, he was there and he was active. I believe what in the beginning, a little bit throughout, but like not heavy presence. So yeah, I'd go with you said what C? I'd go with C.
Now, on the other
However,
hand, Billy's mom. Absolutely loved Billy's mom. Did not see it coming. A perfect surprise. Love the motive. It makes sense. 100% makes sense.
yep,
She is actually my fourth favorite ghost face. So she's getting A tier.
I'm gonna agree with you because again, didn't see it coming. We had no idea who she was because as far as we knew, she was what, like a reporter that was
Exactly.
like trying to interview Gail. Um, she hid her identity. Her motive was perfect. Teaming up with Mickey was great, and I think she ended up killing him at the end, right? Like,
hmm
because she was done with him. She didn't need him. Everything about
But she has
her.
a reasonable crash out, you know?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yes. Dude, they killed her son. Fucking wasn't it there was something else to the motive, and I don't know if it was Sydney's mom was like sleeping with her husband or something, or
It was.
yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, I know there's something else there. It's just been so long since I've watched it. But yeah, motive is strong. The who done it factor, like, what was I saying earlier? The mystery of it was strong. I agree. A tier, hands down.
Now we're going to talk about Scream 5, and we're going to start off with Amber Freeman. Um, Amber Freeman was cool, honestly. Like, but another ghost face that just is kind of there for me, which are like most ghost faces, honestly.
Yeah.
Like most of them just are kind of there. You have them, you have your Hall of Famers, and she's like, if you watch professional wrestling, Amber Freeman, a perfect mid Carter ghost face.
Hmm.
Just like Mickey, I'm putting her in C tier.
I agree. I agree. Totally run of the mill. Totally kind of like that. Yo, she's in the friend group. You wouldn't suspect her because she's there. Her involvement with the whole thing. Um, yeah, I don't have much to speak on her. C tier for sure. However, her counterpart,
Richie,
Richie, I have to give Richie a higher ranking myself because you really didn't see that coming. You know what I mean? Motive, at least I didn't. I did and I
I saw
didn't.
it coming.
Yeah, I did. See, the thing is, I did and I didn't. And when he kind of sussed out her sister, you really started to wonder, maybe, like, could it be, But then you're like, no way. But I don't know. I liked him as Ghostface because it continues that tradition of it's always the love interest. You know what I mean? And that was one of the things that Dewey was talking about. Like Dewey called it. He's like, "You're the boyfriend." Okay, then you're definitely like highly sus because you're the boyfriend and all that. You have no connection to anything. So I don't know if I'd give him B tier, but I'd give him like a high C, high to
Like,
mid C for sure.
is it like orange or fruit punch?
I'm gonna give him fruit punch because orange is elite.
Okay, just making sure. So you're
Yeah,
about
so
to disparage high
no, no, no.
C
He's mid.
orange.
He's mid. He's mid C. He's fruit punch. That's what he is.
I enjoy a fruit punch high C every once in a while, but I love Richie, man. I love the callback to Billy Loomis. It's the love interest, and love his motive. He loves the movies. He wants to be famous.
Dude, I totally spaced on that part.
Perfect motive. Love it. He gets an A. I love Richie.
I'm
Perfect
gonna
ghost.
bump it
One of
up.
the
I'm gonna
best.
bump it up to a B because I spaced on the fact that his whole motive and everything, even throughout the movie, he was watching the stab movies and he was studying them and like all that. So yeah, I'm bumping it to a B. I'll give him B tier because the motive was strong as fuck. It was the whole callback to being the love interest, especially with Billy Loomis's daughter. Like he was like, "Hey, I'm Billy now." Like
And
it
speaking
was.
of Billy Loomis. I know a lot of people's favorite Ghostface, but not my favorite Ghostface. He is a good Ghostface for sure. Like, he gets an A. I don't. There's not really much to say about it. Classic, you know.
No, no, Billy gets S tier, bro. Billy is the OG. Billy is, huh? No, I'm sorry. I have to disagree, bro. Like Billy's whole motive, the whole like hiding in complete plain sight. Nobody saw that coming, even though they sussed him at the beginning with him like climbing the window, drops the phone and stuff like that. But then he's cleared. He's cleared, and then the sus is thrown over here. Like and it's what sparked it. It is the first. It's what I like. No, I'm
He
giving him
gets an
S
A.
tier.
He's getting
It's
an A
a
because the greatest
S tier.
Ghostface of all time is Stu Macher, baby. You hit me with the phone, Dick. My mom and dad's gonna be so mad at me. I absolutely love Matthew Lillard. He gives an amazing performance. He's hilarious, and I love Stu Monker, man. For all you Stu is alive people out there, Stu is alive. He's the greatest Ghostface. He is S tier, baby. We get Stu in Scream 7, guys. Let's
Look,
pray
I'm
to
just
let's
saying
pray to Wes Craven that it's not just a flashback. It's just not AI. Stu's alive. He has had
they
this
did
Ghostface cult.
they did hint at it in Scream 6 by saying if you really believe that he's dead.
The goat. The
But look,
undeniable
here's my
goat.
thing. Here's my thing. I agree. Stu Macher, best Ghostface of all time. But for you to sit there and put Billy Loomis at A tier and have Jill in S tier, I'm not going to sit here and agree that Jill is a better Ghostface than Billy Loomis. If
Yep.
Jill's in S tier, Billy's for me. Fine, fuck it. I have 3 S tiers. I ordered them Stu, Billy, Jill. That's my ranking for the S tier.
Mine goes. If we're given a top three, it's Stu, it's Jill, it's Billy.
It's Stu, Jill, and Bill.
But who cares what we got to say? That's where we throw it off to you guys, because you guys are the most important people. Who's your favorite Ghostface? What's your favorite horror movie? Will Bigfoot give us Hugz back? Find out next week. But until then, you all have a great night, and we'll catch you on the flippity side.